All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Marcus, how are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm good. I don't know if you've seen any of my previous lives before, but I tell every guest, apologies that I have my camera off. My camera is currently being occupied by YouTube. So,
No worries.
here, hold on, Marcus. I don't know if this might... I'll send you this. Let me know if you can actually open this link here. I'm going to send you the link to our YouTube live right now, just in case you want to see my face or anything like that. I don't know if that helps make things a little bit more human or anything. I don't know if you can open that. That's a studio link.
Yeah, it says live streaming isn't available right now.
All right, hold on. Let me try a different link. Try that one. In case you want to see my face so it seems more human.
This one works.
There you go. Okay, cool. Awesome, man. So I know it's a little bit a different setup here where you can't see my face, so my apologies. But let's talk. Let's talk, Marcus. Tell us a little bit, if you can give some, I say to every guest, if you can give kind of these 3 questions some answers to. Who are you? What are you struggling with on social media, and what are you trying to achieve? And then the 4th question would be, what type of stuff do you do on social media? So those are kind of the 4 main ones.
Who am I? Yeah, I'm Marcus.
Okay.
I think it's always a big question. Who are you? I think I'm a content creator. I started as a podcaster actually a couple of years ago when podcasting was a big trend in COVID times. And then just developed the love for like creating content and telling stories. So I've grown quite a big podcast now, interviewing entrepreneurs and creators basically, and getting a little bit also the best practices of like what makes a good story, and listen of course to a lot of cool creators. I think I created over 100 episodes, and now I have a crack myself at growing on social media. I don't know, I think the past 3-4 years I just tried to figure out like what's my zone of genius, where I'm the best, and I'm really good in thinking along with creators and being a creative partner for them, developing crazy ideas how they can partner with brands. And that is something that I'm also trying to now basically build on social media. So trying to help creators find brand deals, negotiate brand deals, find creative angles, how they can activate it. And I started 60 days ago to basically post every single day, and I haven't stopped so far. So
I love it, man. And first off, I want to say right off the bat, big fan of your page, the direction, I love how simple the bio is. I help creators land brand deals immediately. Like, I'm a big fan of bios that are simple enough where I can read one sentence and get an entire understanding of the page. So as soon as I read your first line, I'm like, oh, I'm going to give this guy a follow. So there you go. Because like, this is stuff that could be helpful to me just from the first sentence. So big fan of what you're doing. I watched a couple pieces of your content. I just actually watched right before this, the interview you had with, I don't know if it was Iman Gadzhi's sales rep or whatever, but he was talking about some of the allegations of people saying like, some of his products are not worth it, and this guy's saying like that's a whole bunch of BS. So I loved it, man.
Yeah.
Great.
It's really cool. Also the podcast, I think it's still on. I have a podcast studio in Amsterdam.
Love it.
We are still doing the podcast.
I love it, man. Cool. Okay, so you have a podcast studio in Amsterdam. You help creators land brand deals. What are you currently hoping to gain from our discussion today, if I can provide any sort of insight to you?
I mean, sometimes it's just nice, to see an outside view. If someone is outside and say like, what would Sean do? If you would be in the same position. I think I'm in a quite, let's say, fortunate position. I have my own studio. I have all kind of like equipment and like drones and lights and setup, and so everything looks kind of nice and good. And I think I've underutilized it the past 1.5 years. Because I basically just rented it out to other creators, and now I'm using it much more for myself. To also like have a little bit more of using my space basically more. And I maybe just some ideas or some ways to say like, hey, this is how you can grow. Maybe side information. I have two formats launching soon. So one is I'm doing creator breakdowns.
Nice.
So for example, like Jesse Jean or
Yep.
Alex Hormozy, Erling Haaland or whatever.
Yep.
And I just break down and say like, hey, this would be if I would be managing them, that's what I would do basically.
Sure.
And then trying to give like creative ideas or ideas for own products,
sure.
Content formats, whatever. So I think, yeah, that format, and the other format is more like kind of just this black and white, telling the story about one creator that is broke and one creator that has a lot of brand deals because of 10 million reasons, because they don't follow up, because they don't pitch, because they don't know their pricing, whatever, like this kind of stuff. So those are the content formats that I'm going to launch next week.
I would obviously, I always preface before any answer, I always say, listen, like I'm not an expert, but I do these and I give experiments is what I call them. I give experiments to people on these lives so that I can learn more, right? If I give you an experiment and it works, then that's another tool in my tool belt, sort of say, like I get better at the skill of content. As soon as you said creator breakdowns, I immediately, before we even talked, I'm like, that would be a really, like, when I read the first sentence, I'm like, oh, I'd love to really understand how brand deals work, especially with big creators. So I think you're definitely on the right track. I am personally curious on how brand deals work, like in terms of the economics of it. I've had a lot of brands reach out to me on my page, I'm sure as well with your page. For like 99% of them, I just kind of I kind of ignore it or brush past it because I don't really understand that world too much. As well as like one thing that I think, and I'm just giving you my thoughts, maybe you can have some ideas here. A couple things, I don't understand that world enough to entertain it. Second thing, I have possibly a misconception about how brand deals work, which I think could be a very useful video. Just in terms of explanation. By the way, like this is no guarantee that it's going to do well at all. Like I'm not going to promise anything in terms of engagement, but it just in terms of general curiosity and something that I think would be very valuable for me as a viewer would be the following. And so I'm going to write down this on a Google Doc for you. And I'll send this document to you right now. And I'm just going to add some of my notes, just some ideas to try, but we'll call them experiments. So experiments to try on your page. Again, the purpose here, and let me stop sharing just my tab. I'll share my whole screen so you can see what I'm doing. The purpose here is not to, actually, hold on. Let me see if I can actually share a different screen. Let me know if this is easier here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that I think is better. Okay. So, actually, no, I lied because then the chat can't see. Sorry, Marcus. Hold on. I gotta. There we go. So let me do that, and then I'm going to go here. Yeah, give me 1 second as I juggle these logistics here. All right, fantastic. You can see my document here.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just gonna give you some ideas, but again, like Marcus, remind me, is the central goal with this call, because I want to make sure that the time that we spend here is as valuable to you as possible. Is the central goal here just to understand from me, like, what ideas you should try, or from like an outside perspective, in terms of like what my next content is, or is there something specifically that you're struggling with that you'd like me to really hone in on and give you some suggestions?
I think, two things. Like, I think one thing would be interesting. So sometimes it's just nice to get like a fresh creator eyes on the account. I mean, I do that a lot with a lot of other people to say like, hey, what would you help? Especially because it's a topic that most creators somehow touch. Like either they have brand deals and they have negotiated very poorly, or they have brand deals that they got maybe like overpaid, or they gave too much rights, or they've never touched it and they would like to know more about it. So I was just curious, like what you've seen kind of coming by, what would be interesting to you first and foremost.
Sure.
And secondly, also like if you have any ideas of content ideas or like ideas for formats. I think especially formats would be interesting because I think that's how you can really grow if you have like a specific format that people kind of know you for.
Sure. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you through this, and please disregard this side of my screen. This is just the way I have it on YouTube, this is cut out. So just disregard this desktop. You're just looking at this for a second. And I'll zoom in just so you can see it. Things that I would like to know, because again, as a creator myself, I have largely ignored all the brand deals. Like I get multiple emails now in my inbox from different companies, especially whenever I do like a video talking about a specific content tool that I'm using. It's like immediately I just get flooded with people like, hey, we want to blah, 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 blah. To me, I have a lot of what I would imagine if I were to talk to you for long enough, you'd probably tell me that I have a lot of misconceptions about the brand deal, how brand deals work. What I assume, and so I'm going to share this with you because I would find this generally interesting. Who knows if this will do well? Don't know. But I would love to see more of the economics behind, and this, I'm a little biased because I got my degree in economics, so this is why it's also interesting to me, but I'd love to see more of the economics behind brand deals. In particular, there's this page here. This is on YouTube. Let me know if you can see my screen as I change tabs here. On YouTube, man, what is this guy's name? I'm just going to type in this. How RDJ built his empire. I can't remember what this dude's name is, but I'm sure I'll find it when I do this. Have you ever seen this guy? There it is, Portfolio Breakdown.
No, I've not.
So this guy's he has a finance YouTube channel that I really like. I personally find a lot of his stuff interesting. And he will break down deals from, of course, famous people. Just like how that's why I'm saying, like, you going the direction of the content breakdowns or whatever, I think is generally a good direction from what I've seen, because what I've learned from my page so far, I'll say the number one thing I've learned on my page is that topic is everything. Meaning, if I make a video about 10 ways to make your videos better, who knows if it'll do well? I don't know really. But as soon as I make a video about let's just say what The Rock taught me about how to make my videos better, now I'm stealing I'm stealing all the people that like him, his attention, the demand for The Rock, and bring it into my video. I've found time and time again, every time that I'm able to like steal someone else's fame and put it into my videos tend to do better than average, I'll say. I'm not, again, no promises, no promises that your videos, when you do your first couple content breakdowns, maybe they flop, who knows? But I think it's generally a good direction to look at big creators, take all of because there's already a lot of attention for these people, like Shaq and Kevin Durant and blah, 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 blah. And so people, as soon as especially on YouTube, but this also applies on Instagram, like as soon as they see Kevin Durant, they're immediately going to click, what's this about? And then they hear a little bit longer. I love this dude's content. This is my favorite one that he has so far about Robert Downey Jr. and how he built his empire. And he starts off his videos and he talks about, of course, what people want to know, the celebrity in the video. He breaks down the celebrity story because that's what people, basically, like, he's confirming the click. And then as he starts talking about the story, he starts talking about all the back end, behind the scenes deals that he was making. I personally find that content pretty fascinating, and I think that's pretty similar to your idea of the where did your Instagram go? Here we go. Your idea with the brand deals. Like, I would love to know, for example, so I'm just going to give you some things that I would love to know, just as like someone who's really nosy, I guess. Big creators, you mentioned like Jessie Jean. I think she has a partnership with Chime, right, or something like that. I don't know if you know the behind the scenes of it, but I would love to understand, like, how does this work, especially when I look at people who I just have so many questions about this space, man. Like, when I look at a creator, for example, who promotes something that's free, right? Like, try out Chime today for free. Like, how does the economics of this work? Like, why is the creator being paid to promote something for free? My assumption is that it's free for just a limited time, like a free trial. And then on the back end, after, let's say, 7 to 30 days, then the customer's bumped up to a regular subscription, and then the creator is maybe paid residuals on the subscription. I don't know. And I also don't know if that's like one thing that I'm kind of new to this whole, like, I guess, brand deal world. One thing that I'm not personally as familiar with is the difference between affiliate partnerships and versus brand deals. For example, like, all of it looks the same to me. When I look at my inbox, it's all just companies that will send me like, hey, I want you to promote our product, and some of them will send me like service agreements, and then they'll give me criteria of like, I want X amount of videos to be posted about this. Here's the blah, 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 blah. And then others are like, they don't use the term brand deal. They say like, hey, we'd love to have you in our affiliate program where you get paid commission based on how many people purchase. I don't really understand how this world works and the pros and cons of these, or if they're different or if they're the same. I would also love to know like the biggest streamers, of course. That's just my general interest, like Kaisenat,
and stuff.
Speed. Obviously, these creators alone, every time I talk about one of these two, my videos do well. They gain a lot of attention. I'd love to understand, like, I know that Speed, I'm trying to think of one of his recent partnerships. Oh, State Farm. He just partnered with State Farm for Gamerhood. And I know, like, Ludwig, for example, is doing... These are all very timely, like, trending topics. But Ludwig is a famous streamer who's doing the Streamer Games. And that's sponsored by Red Bull and so on and so forth. And I really don't understand how that works at all. I assume, again, just from a very basic level, like, a company reaches out, hey, you generate a lot of attention. I want to use some of your attention, and so I'm going to pay you to promote my product. But my questions, like, I have so many questions beyond the basics, you know. And stop me if I get too into the weeds here, because I'm just listing out all my questions that I have. If this is helpful or not.
No, I think it's super interesting. I mean, like, a lot of it, like, it's also like really depends sometimes what the company wants as well, right? So. For example, DHL, they went into sports, like esports sponsoring, like heavily.
Yeah.
So they became like a huge part of the esports community, because like in the beginning you also think like, okay, you're like a package delivery service, like why would you sponsor esports?
Yes.
And they became like as integrated as you can get basically as a company.
Yes.
That on the tournaments. 50 or 60,000 people would scream like DHL, DHL in the stadium. So, like, I think those kind of like brand deals, of course, it's not with a creator, but more with like with an organization or something. But that's really, really interesting, like how you can become part of a movement rather than just like do, for example, what you said before, affiliate links or affiliate partnerships, or like some dead brand partnerships that you just throw out money, give it to some like influencer agencies and take your hands off, basically.
Yes. And this is
that's maybe also an interesting one, like the involvement of influencer agencies versus working with the brand directly.
Exactly right. Like, these are, and all I want to do right now is just give you questions that I have, because this is a topic I'm personally interested in, and I think this could be helpful for you to get more ideas on like how to frame certain things in your videos. So like, here are some of the questions I have. Like, what should I do? Should I do brand deals, which I don't even really understand that term. I mean, like, partnering with the company, I guess, to promote their products, versus affiliate, which seems to, like, they seem very similar to me. Both initiatives to me is basically, hey, company reaches out, wants to use your attention. You get paid based on the people that sign up for their product. That, like, that kind of, I don't know if brand deals are more like one-off deals and affiliates are maybe recurring. I don't know how that works. Or should I just sell my own stuff? I think these are general questions that most creators have. The other question I have is like, I want to understand I guess I can call it incentives, but more so like, yes, I'll say the incentives on both parties. And here's what I mean. I've seen many creators who will promote something. They'll have like an in-video ad on YouTube, and they'll promote some sort of product. And I watch it and I'm like, dude, I wonder how many sales this guy's actually like made from doing this. But like, are these people being paid basically commission only for the sales? Are they being paid up front? For example, I listened to a video. Oh man, let me think about what it was. I show speed, maybe brand deal or something. I literally listened to this the other day, and it was some guy. Hopefully, I can find the podcast. There was some guy talking on a podcast, and he was describing how they paid Speed a bunch of money to promote this product. It got like hundreds of millions of impressions, but it didn't really get him many sales. And I was listening to that. I'm like, okay, so did they pay Speed up front for that? Do they pay Speed based on products that are bought? You know,
like with those big creators, it's 99% upfront. Like right. They don't accept anything else.
That's kind of what I imagine. I imagine like if you're a big creator, you're like, hey, listen, I have access to millions of people. So that's why I want to understand like the incentives on both sides. Because someone like, for example, Speed, and I don't know who's watching this, but if anyone's watching this, like I'm a big fan of Speed, so I'm not trying to throw any shots here or anything. But like Speed, since he's a big creator, like he already knows that anything he does is going to get tens of millions of views. It seems like there was kind of like there wouldn't be, if I were in Speed's situation, there wouldn't be like a high incentive for me to really like push a product. I would just basically, yeah, here it is, go try it or whatever. Like I don't really care about the sales as much, so I don't really understand. I guess more so the incentives.
I mean, in the end, I think it's like monetary driven for those creators, especially if you're that big. It's just they send you like a very attractive offer, and like normally if you have this kind of size, there's no affiliate link or no affiliate deal involved. It's most of the time just like a flat fee, and most of the time that's very high. So they say, why not?
Sure. I have so again, like on your page, I'd love to just understand how it works. Like, what are the benefits of me accepting a brand deal? You know, or like how lucrative can brand deals actually be, right? How lucrative are brand deals? And the next thing, like, I'm sure you do this all the time. I don't need to give you like any. I don't think I need to give you any, I don't even want to call it teaching, but insights on this is like, first thing I'm doing is I'm just looking at like, okay, brand deals on Instagram. Let me just see what people are talking about. And can we incorporate that into some of your content? Like right here, how I negotiate brand deals. That seems like a really interesting concept. This is by ChatGPT too. I know a lot of people like her, so we could do a brand breakdown of ChatGPT. Where is that up above? Sorry, everything's in bold. We'll fix the formatting later. But I'd love to know like a brand breakdown of ChatGPT as well as what she said. How to negotiate brand deals. Because this to me is like it's a completely new world. And for any creator that is smaller and kind of like blowing up, I'm sure most people don't know, like a lot of people don't know how to manage any of this stuff. So just like what you said too, should
they get super excited, right? Like imagine you get like an email and you make, all of a sudden you can make 10K or 20K of like posting a couple of content that you've done for free.
Right.
Like people give always way too much away, like way too much infrastructure, way too much.
That's why I've completely ignored it. Like all the emails in my inbox, except for like one or two, I have just completely left idle because I don't understand enough about how this world works. But I am, I guess, knowledgeable enough to know that whatever they are trying to promote me in the inbox is probably like I need to think a little bit deeper about it before accepting something. Just because someone, for example, I had a company, which of course I will not say who, but I had a company reach out to me and they showed me how much some of their partners are making through some of their paid partnerships or whatever, and they just showed me the numbers, the revenue numbers, and immediately I'm like, okay, these are very flashy. But then when you go to look at the creators that they're talking about, these are creators with almost 1 million subscribers on YouTube. One thing that I know about, even though I don't know a lot about the economics of brand deals, is that I know that to have 1 million subscribers on YouTube is infinitely harder to get than 1 million followers on Instagram. So you're telling me like someone with 1 million subscribers on YouTube is getting paid this flashy number? Why don't you show me the creators that are similar to me, who are maybe at 10,000 followers on Instagram? How much are they getting paid? Which is, probably pennies on the dollar. So it's just a really new world for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people. This guy says $300,000 in brand deals in 12 months. I'd be curious to know, just by looking at this, like, how do people make hundreds of thousands of dollars in brand deals like this in 12 months? Like, if I go to this guy's page, here's my next question for you. And I'm just going to speak out loud with questions I have.
So 100%.
When I just read this, I'm like, okay, how does this even happen? If I go to your page, does that mean that every single video is going to be like a paid promotion or something? Like, how do you make $300K in 12 months if I go to his page? Like, let's see if he's promoting on every single video. It doesn't look like he is. Oh, maybe he is. I don't know. New iMac. It just doesn't oh, maybe. I don't know. Oh, that's okay. That one says #ad. I just don't get it, man. Unless he has, okay, so this is an ad. I mean, it seems like the rest of his posts are pretty much normal. How in the world is he making 300 grand in 12 months with brand deals? Unless like his normal content is.
But is he doing UGC or like for his?
That's my next question. Yeah, is he doing UGC or like? That's also a question I have. Should I be, if someone's reaching out to me for a brand deal, should I make another account for just like promotion of, like, should I just accept all these offers and make another account and just promote all this stuff? I have no idea. Yeah, man, I don't understand too much about this world. Do you mind just like sharing me just a little bit of insights on how this works? How to make 6 figures with brand deals?
Like, I mean, I think those are all long-term deals, so I think that I would have to study his content, obviously, but I think like what most likely what he has done, or what I've seen also like happening a lot, is, for example, someone having like a really deep integration already with like a specific tool. For example, Gannon Meyer is a really good example. Gannon Meyer is doing a lot of breakdowns on ManyChat, Kit.
Right. That makes sense. Like, it makes sense.
Zapier, all this kind of stuff, right? So he works together with all those brands, and I imagine that he works together with all those brands very, very closely. So most likely he has also.
I'm sorry. What is his name?
Gannon Meyer with Gannon with an A.
I'm sorry. Anyways, keep talking, and I'll.
The first one. Gannon, the first one. So he has. You should follow him, by the way. He's doing a really amazing breakdowns of like how to do ManyChat automations, how to integrate it into Kit with Zapier, how to funnel someone from your Instagram to Circle, how to set up email automations, all this kind of stuff in a really, really engaging way. How to integrate Cloud. So he's doing a really good job in creating formats that are super interesting for brands to partner with, right?
Yeah,
because he already basically promotes them for free, and then the pitch is quite easy because he has all the proof to say like, hey, people are really interested in that.
Of course. So that makes sense, and that I think that makes sense, right? Sorry to cut you off, but this is something that I would love to. I think this would be insanely valuable. Is how to naturally integrate your content for brand deals. I don't know if that sentence even makes sense, but like.
No, I know what you mean. No.
Someone like
how to create formats for brands, how to make it interesting.
I think his name's NPR. What's his name? And there it is, right there. RPN. Like this guy. Have you seen this guy? He's pretty much exactly like Gannon Meyer, like you just showed me. Pretty much all of his content is about different like tools. So like when I see this guy's page, like it wouldn't surprise me if all of these are paid promotion videos, but that's what his page is all about. Like I'm sure he partners with Claude Code. I'm sure he's partnered with Perplexity and Luma Labs and ChatGPT and all these, but like that's what every video is, So that would be a really interesting topic to learn, is like, how do you naturally, I don't know, integrate your content for brand deals, you know, in a way where you can
that's
just,
also one of the first
promote.
things that we do. Like when I start working together with creators, and they say like, oh, for example, I don't have any deal. Then most of the time, like, it's, do you have any content format or any format where brands can actually tap in? So I speak to a lot of creators that create amazing reels, but they never talk, for example, in the reels, they just act out something. But the moment you would do like a brand deal with a brand and they come in, like, then you start talking all of a sudden to the camera. So your whole audience will be totally confused because they never heard your voice. And all of a sudden, so I think there's a big misconception also for a lot of creators that they create content and they say like, hey, I don't understand why I get monetized. And most of the time it's in their content that they don't have any, most of the time they use tools for their content creation or for whatever, but they never speak about it. And then it's very difficult to implement brands. So you can then go both ways. Like either you start to do the content first and then get a brand in, or you go to like with a concept to a brand and say like, hey, here's a content format that I would love to launch with you together. Shall we do that?
I love that. I think this would be a great, even like after this session, you and I might ask you some more questions in the DMs, because I would love to hear like your insight on what works best. So, okay, I just gave you like a handful of questions. One thing that
I love those.
One thing that I've learned is, this is just through my journey. Let me know if this kind of aligns with you and whatnot. So far, like everyone that I've showed this to has kind of validated this, which is good. But again, this all started from my head, so I don't know if this applies to everyone. But I call it the 7 levels of content. I've talked about it a lot, pretty much in every live stream. This is just how I view my content journey. When I first started posting content this year, I considered myself the player. I wanted to play the game of making content, and my only goal at that time was to make content consistently. You mentioned like, hey, I've already been posting for 60 days straight. Awesome, fantastic. This was my first my first mission. I threw strategy out the window, and I was just like, how can I post for the next 30 days? I for this level, I posted for over 100 days because I wanted to get my first 100 videos, like how Mr. Beast says, like just make 100 videos, try to get better with each one. That was totally my goal. So I was like, let me just post every day. I'll throw strategy out the window and I'll just try to get better with each video. At a certain point, after like in your case, 60 videos or 100 videos, I then wanted to make better content. Like, I was making micro improvements throughout the first, let's say, 100 iterations, but I wanted to, how do I go from 100 views, 200 views, 300 views to 3,000, 4,000, 10,000? How do I really get better? So I wanted to find the next level. In this level, I started becoming the thief, where I started looking at what worked on my page. So in your case, like if we go to yours, I started looking at what videos of mine are like really outperforming it compared to others. In your case, if I just do a quick scroll, I'm seeing like this one, okay, 3,000 or 3,300, this one 3,700, this one 5,700. So I'm like just writing down, okay, I'm looking through. This one's 614, no bueno. 2,000, 2,000. Okay, so in your instance, what I'm doing if I'm you, this is what I did, is I'm just looking at all the, like, what is this because this was a collab? All right. So I'm looking at all the videos that really started to outperform, minus the collabs. I feel like that's not really a good signal because you're leveraging someone else's audience, if that makes sense. But like this,
yeah, the podcast clips as well. It's really difficult to include them because in the end, it's like then also borrowed credibility.
So what I started doing, once I started posting consistently, I started looking at, okay, what videos have performed better than others? Like this one has 5,700 views, and this one, it's a collab. Okay, never mind. Is this one a collab too?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, like what I've seen basically. So
here we go.
I think I had pretty much the same idea as you, just to like go for 100 posts, 100 days, and then the first 30 I was just posting everything, and now like I after like 30 days, you start to become a little bit more strategic, like make a little bit more this kind of content and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you see here, right here, 2,300 views. Okay. It seems like this one's doing better. This is like a solo post. This one's doing better than others. How can I make something similar? I'm going to steal the elements from this. And that could be, you steal the format. Now, granted, B-roll reels are the toughest for me to gain followers because you're not talking. So be careful. But what I would do, the first thing that I would steal is how can we take this and literally just use this text hook, but speak it and see if that does any better, like than average. Like let's say you do a speaking reel where you just said like, hey, I reviewed 350 creator pitch emails and you showed on screen. Maybe even do a green screen. Say, here are 350 creator pitch emails. Here are the 10 reasons that brands never work. And perfect. You have it in the caption. My first thing that I would do if I wanted to really like make some improvements would take this. This is your script now. Use this as your hook and then use this as your roadmap. Because this is what I did when I was trying to like make better stuff and just try to speak. And I would ideally do this as either a green screen or some sort of ranking video like how you see. It's up to you. And then you have a cool call to action here. You might not get 2,300 views when you do this. You might only get, let's say 1,000. But if you get 1,000, that's still better than 600. Okay, people might like this type of topic of reviewing creator pitch emails, basically. So this is what I started to do. Same thing with here. You married to a CEO. Oh, okay, this is just kind of a skit. Okay, no worries. This is what I started to do. I started to look at my content that's working and see how can I make slight iterations of it. As well as, this is up to you. This is something that I did, but I know this is kind of like a, whatever. People are like a little dicey on this idea, but I started looking at what's working elsewhere too on the platform. And so that's what I did. When I was trying to get better, I wanted to study how are people making content. And so what I would do in your case, if this is the direction I wanted to go, is I just type in the topic, brand deals, and see what are people talking about. So again, like as soon as I type in brand deals, I'm seeing basically 3 videos, 4 videos. The first 4 videos I'm seeing are just 5 videos, 6 videos. The first 6 videos are just about basically how to get paid, how to make money, how to make money with brand deals. That's what these all seem to be about. This is all money. How to get brand deals, how to land brand deals, how I made this much money, how I made this much money, how I made this much money. Clearly, just within the first 6 videos, people are interested in this idea of how to get paid from brand deals. And so if I'm you and I'm studying this for like ideas, that might be another, I might even put it right here. How to get paid with brand deals, right? And you can do it in your podcast format. You can do it as B-roll. This is clearly a topic people want to know about. As I scroll down further, boom, boom, boom. Let's see if there's any other topics that really stand out. How to get brand deals with under 1,000 followers. That probably is good. I mean, it's a wider audience. Brand deal tactics. Let me see here. How many followers does this guy have? 9,000? 197 likes? Nah. Okay. Wasn't much interest in this one. Let's see this. 4,000 likes. How many 300,000. Okay, let's keep going. Creator diaries. This is similar to kind of what you're thinking about. See, 330 followers, 137 likes. Not really much demand there. Here's what I say when brand deals ask what your rate is. 2,000 people, 164. That's a good one though. But this is like all I'm doing at this stage, something you could do. I'm not saying you should or should not.
That's a good idea.
This is how I'm studying. I'm just looking at, basically when I'm looking at, one, patterns that I'm seeing. So I'm seeing, again, like a lot of people are talking about money, right? It's dream outcome of brand deals. So like how to land brand deals, right? The next thing I'm going to look at is, can I find small creators? This is, again, this is just what I did. You take this, whatever you want to do. I tried to find small creators, for example, like this guy. And I would try to find outlier videos from small creators. Small creator being anyone less than, ideally, like 50,000 followers. Anyone less than 100,000 followers is still fine. But I was really looking for like, this is a good sweet spot. And then I would try to find, like, if this guy has 9,000 followers, are there any videos which you could use? Like, I have an extension called sort feed. You could also use a tool called Eden, which I use a lot. And, you know, either of them work, but it sorts the most popular videos. And let's see here. Brands I've worked with, no. Does this talk about brand deals? No, it's just an ad. Okay, so like this guy wouldn't be a good example, but this is some stuff that I started doing. Is like, can I find content that is wildly outperforming on small creator accounts about this topic of brand deals? And then you can decide what to do from there. Some people will say steal the hooks. Some people will say don't do that or whatever. Like, I think all advice works, whichever direction you want to go and whatever feels more natural to you. But one thing that I do constantly is I see what topics are working. So like, what are people talking about? It's clear that with brand deals, of course, how much money people are making is in demand. And now I just want to find how to get inbounds. Nope. Now I just want to find videos that are really outperforming on people's pages. 3 reasons why you're not getting brand deals. Oh, but this is a paid video. Let's see. How to get brand deals. Well, that's by Gary. 3 methods to get paid with brand deals with no followers. Okay, and now I might actually open this a little bit further and just say like creator how to monetize your following. Start that. There's another keyword that I'm looking for. Now I just want to see what videos are out there. How to monetize on social media with less than 10,000 with less than 10K. This guy has 14,000 followers. This didn't really do much. Okay, I'm going to keep going. How to get paid to exist. But this one did do really well. I don't know if this one... You could decide if you want to use that or not. This is clearly a outperformer. I know it's kind of like a controversial idea, but how to actually make money on Instagram, this guy has a big following. This is stuff that I would do to try to make better content, me personally. Just seeing what topics are out there. I'm not saying you have to do that, but this is one way to do it when you're thinking about brand deals. Let me just try one more time. Hold on. Creator monetization. And if I'm going on a tangent or off track, let me know. Feel free to pull me back in.
No, it's perfect. Like I find it interesting how you think. Like it's very analytical, and I like how you use the keywords basically to find the topics. It's really smart.
Yeah, I just play around with keyword search and I just try to find small creators that have videos that are vastly outperforming, and then from there you can decide. Again, like, I'm not going to tell you, I don't want to be the guy that tries to endorse this idea of, like, you know, stealing whatever. But what I do want to know is, like, what are people interested in? And so a lot of times I'll just look at like text hooks, right? Like this one, for example, catches my eyes. How much money do content creators make? That seems interesting to me. This guy has 464,000 followers and only had 762 likes. Didn't really get a lot of attention, so I'm going to probably skip past it. But I do know that...
And what are you looking at, for example, with, like, basically, if there's like, if they have a lot of following and they got a lot of views, then it's not so interesting for you because you say like, okay, the views came from his following. Or like, how do you decide like what's kind of
I try to find
interesting or not?
I'll just play around with this on Instagram, really I have a tool that does this now, but something simple you could do for free is just try to find small creators. Like this even fits in the small creator bucket, less than 100,000 followers. The reason why I try to find small creators is because I know that the video does the heavy lifting. If it's a big creator, I know that they have a ton of followers. I can't really tell if the video is the one that did well or not. And so this is just kind of how I will go through this. I made 250,000 in 1 year as a content creator. Like this guy has 366,000 followers. It has 945 likes. It doesn't really seem like it got a lot of traction. And so, okay, here we go. Here we go. Now we're talking. How much I charge for brand deals. So again, I mean, this one took a little bit more time than usual, but still this was, I mean, you and I have probably been going through this exercise for maybe 10, 15 minutes. And now immediately I'm like, okay, I'm not going to look at anything that she says here. I'm not going to look at any of the script or whatever, but I can tell immediately, like, okay, she has 27,000 followers. This post has 2,500 likes, and this was from July 27th. Those are the three things I'm looking at. Is like, if I go, I can't actually see the views on a carousel post, but she has definitely smaller than 100,000 followers, and I want to see, is this post, does this post have a lot of views or a lot of likes or a lot of engagement? And when I say a lot, like, I typically want to see videos that have like 5 times more views than the person's following. Because this carousel has 2,500 likes, I'd imagine this carousel probably got close to 100,000 views, which is about 3 to 5-ish times more than her followers, just based on that assumption. So I'm like, okay, immediately, cool. I could take this and make a video on this. Instead of how much I charge for brand deals, maybe make a video on like how much you should charge for brand deals at each follower count, something like that.
Yeah. Right? I mean, I even created like a free calculator for it. Like,
there you go.
That is all this kind of stuff. And I created a couple of videos, but they got so little traction. But I think I have to work on my hook then, or because I created like 3 or 4 videos for exactly that, to promote the to promote the calculator as a lead magnet. But so far they're kind of flopping.
You know what I think would do really well? Well, all right, let me reel back because I don't want to give you any false promises here. There's too many gurus that like promise a ton of stuff. Here's an experiment that I would try. So I'm going to put this in my experiment category that I think could help you get traction on the lead magnet. I'm not going to promise you that it's going to get whatever hundreds of thousands of views, but I like this topic. How much I charge for brand deals. You could do something like this. I don't know if you've ever seen this format before.
You can check out the calculator. It's on marcusengel.nl if you want. Like you have to type it in on.
Right here.
I think it's not in the stand story yet. Just type it in the URL. It's marcusengel.nl.
.nl.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, fantastic. So check this out. This is an experiment that I would try. Okay. Just as like one idea. Again, I've given you like several questions that I have that I'd love to see videos on. But one thing that you could try is 10 out of 10 ways, or 10 out of 10 rates to charge brands, but the follower size gets larger. Something like that, but we probably need to work on that a little bit further.
I've seen this coming back. It's like, and the tips get more niche, I think, right?
Exactly.
They do right now a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you could try that format. Like I've done that format quite a bit. If you just type in like 10 out of 10 ways. So now like, all right, I don't know what it is. 10 out of 10 habits, I think is what it is. Yeah, 10 out of 10 ways to complete, niche version. You could try something like this just as an experiment. Again, I'm not promising anything, because the way I worded it here, you might want to change the wording to be simpler than this. But I would love to see a video on like, okay, how much, basically, I want to know how much should I charge brands at each follower size, basically. That's the basic idea. So you could make another video. How much you should charge brands at each follower size, basically. That's the basic idea. You could try it in this format, since this one is timely. It's something that people understand, and then you could promote the lead magnet at the end for both. That could be a cool experiment to try. But again, I'm just giving you an idea here. I don't even know if this.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't even know if this sentence makes sense, and so you might want to.
Play around with the hook a
You
little
might
bit.
want to simplify that even further somehow, where like a general audience can understand it. But the basic question is this: how much should should you charge brands at each follower size? And one person that I saw who made a video similar to this is like, how much should you charge for brand deals? She had like some formula that she gave in the video, and then she had like a lead magnet. You could do something similar. I think it was this right here. How to set your rates. That's probably a better. That's probably that's probably better.
How to set your rates. Nice.
How to set your rates on Instagram, right? Something like that. Again, I'm just literally just giving you some ideas here. I don't know if, and then she has a formula. The formula I use is AIL times whatever. I don't know what any of this means, but then she has, no, she doesn't. But like you could do something like this, give a formula or however you do it, explain your calculator, and then have a call to action saying if you comment the word sponsor, I'll send over my brand deal calculator or something like that. You know? But you could play around with some of these. This is, all I'm doing here is just seeing like what are people resonating with on the internet, and then how can we incorporate that into some of the questions you already have. Last thing when you're talking about formats, and then I'll be done here. By the way, like, do you have any further questions? Am I monologuing too much here, Marcus? Am I making
No, it's super interesting. I love that, because the problem is that when you are inside, then those kind of basic things you think, there's so much AI, people can actually find it out themselves quite quickly, but I like how basic it is. And I think I'm talking like already way too complicated about the topic, while people just want to know, hey, how much can I earn, and
totally.
how do I do it?
I think that's a great experiment too, is like just dumb down your language, especially like if you have videos that have performed well in the past. Can you simplify it further? This is a really cool concept, by the way. That's awesome that you are seeing some results there. But
and this is basically going to be the hook of the creator breakdown. So I have like 12 phases, and then I turn it, and then the one that stops, I break down basically.
I think that's a good idea. There's also one thing that you could do is just like, this is why I like the green screen so much. Just whenever I'm struggling to do like talking head yapping stuff, like if it's not performing, I'll do green screens. You could do the Foursquare format like this, and just have creators in the background that people recognize. Have Jesse Jean and blah, 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 blah. And then the text hook says like, how much do these creators make from brand deals? Whatever. Or you could just have one, let me see if I have an example of you could just have one creator here or something in the background. I really like this Foursquare format. It seems to work well on my page.
Yeah.
This is up to you to just experiment. Yeah, like right here. This is me. I just have a creator in the background and then green screen. I would say that would be a good experiment to try for your creator breakdowns, because it's so easy to produce, and ideally it'll keep people longer, just because people are looking at the creator. Like my goal was within the first second people are looking at iShowSpeed, they're going to stick around. So for your creator breakdowns, you might want to try something similar, because even if you have a wheel, again, I'm just giving this as an idea or a suggestion. Even if you have a wheel with creators' names on it, whenever I experiment with it on my page, I find that people will stick around primarily because of like the image of the creator. It's a face on it. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I mean, do a face on it, or I would definitely try the green screen with the first second of the video being of a popular creator. And let's see, like, if we could just find someone that does something similar. Creator breakdown.
Yeah, no, but that's a good idea.
Let's see. Like, if I just type in creator breakdown. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you could try a React format if you wanted. I find that the green screens are just the simplest for me, like, no doubt about it. Like, this is a Foursquare format about Jun Yu. And this one says, exposing Jun Yu, the truth behind the cracked phone and multi-million-dollar empire. This is another way for you to figure out ideas, too. Because this guy, let's see, he has 6,000 followers. This video got 11,000 likes, and this was in June. This is clearly a video that people resonate with. And so you could do something similar, exposing X person, or It's up to you if you want to use this word. I know this word is pretty bold.
Loaded.
Yeah, of course. But like this could be a video to take notes on, so I'll add it here. Study this for creator breakdowns. Because again, I mean, this is a recent video let's see how many views this video got. If it has 11,000 likes, it's definitely over 100,000 views. And this guy has 6,000 followers. Where's his Jun Yu video? Might be. Oh, here we go. It's got 283,000 views. This guy has 6,000 followers. And he's doing this Foursquare format with this creator in the background. And then he did it. Let's see. Like this guy actually, yeah, and he does it again. 7,000 views. Cool. Then he does it. Does he do it again? Does it again? 95,000 views. This guy would probably be one to take inspiration from. And it's good. What's good about this is that he's not talking about brand deals. So you could really like take a look at how he's structuring his videos, take some inspiration for the visuals, and then make it totally different by talking about brand deals. You know? But this guy, I mean, look at this guy's ripping it, dude. He's 35,000 and he has 6,000 followers. So
yeah, so he probably got the most followers in the last 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, just from these videos. So I would use him as maybe inspiration. But yeah, man, hopefully I've given you some ideas here for videos. Your formats,
100%, a lot.
Formats I would suggest, just from my end, I would suggest would be start off with the easiest ones for me personally. Start off with green screen. Start off with, you could even do like voiceover, and even try B-roll just to see if people, B-roll you're not gonna. I'll tell you right now, I'm pretty sure about this. I mean, again, I'm not an expert, but like, it's very very rare that I've had a B-roll reel that's got a lot of views gain me a lot of followers because you're just not building trust. But what B-roll reels are good for in my instance is to test the message. If I'm saying like, for example, like these questions, if you really wanted to, again, I treat content as an experiment. That's up to you if you want to do it. I think you have trial reels now, so you could actually experiment with these. You could literally just take these questions that I asked you and make like simple B-roll reels, test them in trial reels. And if they do well, then you know, okay, I'm gonna make a talking video about them. This is what I call my. Actually, I'm not even gonna put a name on it because I don't want people to think like I'm trying to sell something. I don't want people to think I'm trying to. The Sean
Stewart method.
I was gonna say this is what I call my threads method, but I don't want people to think like I'm trying to sell a strategy that like this is what works. But this is what I use threads for. I use threads. I ask like literally questions that I was asking you. Like I just asked to threads, and for example, like this thread got 5 comments. Okay, really not too much engagement. All right, I'll disregard. Not really too much engagement, but then the other day I asked a question, and where was it? I still need to make a video on this. I'm kind of slacking on it, but if I scroll down far enough, I asked, damn, dude, how far was it? Unless, hold on. Sorry, I might have skipped it. Or maybe I can do Control F. Luck. No? Alright. Let me see if I can find it quickly. If not, just disregard. But I asked a question the other day and I said, is becoming famous on social media luck or skill? And it had hundreds of people that interacted with it. So immediately, I don't know where it is, man. But immediately I realized, like, okay, I can take this and make this into a talking video since people really resonate with this. Since people resonate with this idea. Yeah, like this one got 32 comments, 21 likes. This one's probably good for me to make a video on. Just this question, I could use it as a hook on my video. I'm not saying you need to use threads, by the way. You can do this with B-roll reels, with trial reels if you wanted to. But this is an experiment.
Yeah, no, but it's a clever way to test.
Right here, this is the one.
Test some video.
This one got 114 comments, 69 likes, and mind you, my average thread gets like 0 engagement. So when this one got hundreds of people, I'm like, okay, I can use this as the hook for my next video and then make a whole video about this. So that's how I test engagement on this platform. You don't have to use threads for that. You could take these questions, have simple captions or something, and test B-roll reels and trial reels. If they do well, then you know, okay, now I'm going to make those into talking stuff. That's if you really want to get like strategic. not saying you need to do any of this if you don't want to. I'm just giving you some ideas to ponder.
No, 100%. Like, I mean, it was really valuable. Really nice to, because yeah, as I said, like sometimes you just think way too complicated about it. But in the end, yeah, people want to create content and they want to get paid. How do you do that?
Yeah,
if you break it down to the...
If there's one thing that I think will benefit you the most from this discussion is just, I think you will find better results by dumbing down your language. That has always been the case for me. So, yeah, I'll just leave you with that. I won't promise anything else from these experiments to try, but that.
Otherwise, I will find you. You know, I have you on Instagram. Like, I hold you accountable.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Cool. So here's some
perfect.
questions.
Thanks so much.
Of course, man. Take these, run with them. I would really love to see some of these content breakdowns with streamers and influencers, especially if you pair these with green screen videos. I would love to see those. I think those would be awesome for your page, man. So
yeah,
I'll even put that somewhere here. Use green screen, just like how that one dude did. So cool, man.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
Of course.
So helpful.
All right, Marcus, I'm going to send this to you right now. Hopefully I didn't overcomplicate things too much, but let me know how it goes, man.
Not at all. Thank you so much for your help. Like, really valuable. And keep on crushing it, because you're getting a lot of attention, like just a matter of time until you have 100K.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, man. All right.
Of course, man. All right. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.